Welcome to this explainer. I am so pumped you're joining us because today we are tearing down some massive, widespread misconceptions. What if everything you've been told about building wealth is only half the truth? We're diving into some fascinating source material today that completely flips the script. It shows us that extraordinary wealth isn't about overnight shortcuts or these flashy internet fantasies. No, it's usually built in total silence. It's built through tiny habits repeated when literally no one is watching, and decisions made long before the actual results ever show up.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Does extraordinary wealth actually come from luck? Because, a lot of people just assume it's all about perfect timing, pure raw talent, or just rubbing elbows with the right people. But the reality? The journey to real, lasting wealth actually begins with just one decision, one major mindset shift, and one daily habit. It's really all about becoming the kind of person who is fundamentally capable of creating and holding on to wealth.
Okay, let's map this out. We've organized the 15 core habits from our source material into 5 logical phases of your financial journey. We'll hit the ownership mindset, mastering financial discipline, expanding your value, multiplying your wealth, and finally, building a lasting legacy.
So let's jump right into phase 1, the ownership mindset.
Here is the thing. Before a single extra dollar ever hits your bank account, wealth actually has to develop internally first. It's a fundamental shift in how you think. There's such a stark contrast between an employee mindset and an owner mindset. And hey, this isn't about your literal job title at all. It's completely about perspective. Someone with an employee mindset calculates the value of an hour purely based on their paycheck. But an owner looks at that same hour and thinks, what can I create with this that pays off long term? While the employee mindset is busy asking, what can I afford to buy today? The owner is asking, what can I acquire today that will actually appreciate in value for tomorrow?
That mindset is anchored by 4 key internal habits. First, you've got to think like an owner by actively taking responsibility for finding solutions. Second, make learning your absolute greatest investment. Because just like money, knowledge compounds over time. Just reading a few pages of a book a day can totally shift your trajectory. Third, you absolutely must control your emotions around money. Mastering fear and greed is a game changer because emotional knee-jerk decisions destroy wealth way faster than a bad market ever could. And finally, never, ever stop reinventing yourself. You've got to stay adaptable and resilient as the world changes around you.
All right, moving on to phase 2, mastering financial discipline.
This is where we pivot from that internal mindset stuff to the active defensive systems of wealth building. Essentially, how to preserve what you make. The source outlines 4 preservation habits here. The first is mastering delayed gratification, which just means trading a tiny bit of pleasure today for a massive reward down the line. That ties directly into the second habit, living below your means. It's all about intentionally creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend. Why? Because it protects you from lifestyle inflation. That trap where your spending magically goes up every single time you get a raise. By keeping that gap nice and wide, you preserve your capital.
But to actually make those preservation habits stick, we can't rely on motivation. We have to rely on systems. The source uses a brilliantly simple metaphor for this. Think of a commercial airplane. Before it even takes off, the destination is hardwired into the navigation system. During the flight, wind and turbulence are constantly trying to push that plane off course, right? But the system quietly and automatically corrects it. Motivation is basically like hoping for good weather. It's totally temporary, and frankly, it's exhausting. Systems are your navigation. They reduce decision fatigue because they keep you on track without you even having to think about it.
A perfect real-world example of one of these systems is the habit of paying yourself first. It's entirely mechanical. Step 1, you earn your income. Step 2, you automate your savings and investments immediately, before you even see the money. Step 3, you pay your bills and live on whatever is left over. By setting up this automatic transfer before your expenses are paid, you are literally proving to your own subconscious that your future is your absolute #1 priority.
Okay, phase 3, expanding your value.
Once you've got your financial defense locked down, it's time to shift to a powerful offensive strategy to generate some real opportunity. And it all starts with the number 24. No matter who you are or where you come from, we all get exactly 24 hours in a day. Now, you can't magically multiply time, but you absolutely can multiply its impact. Protecting those 24 hours from endless digital scrolling and low-value tasks, that is step 1 to expanding your worth in the marketplace.
So, how should you use that time? Well, our source highlights 3 value habits. First, you protect your time fiercely. It is your greatest asset. Second, you use it to build powerful, authentic relationships. We're talking about connections rooted in mutual value and respect, not just transactional surface-level networking. And third, you focus on solving bigger problems. Think about it. The larger the problem you solve and the more people you solve it for, the exponentially bigger your reward is naturally going to be.
And that brings us to the core of value creation. Listen, you really don't need to invent the next revolutionary, world-changing app to build wealth. You just need enough curiosity to spot everyday frustrations and the empathy to actually fix them for people. At the end of the day, people will happily hand over their money for meaningful results that make their lives easier, faster, or just better. Let's roll right into Phase 4, multiplying your wealth.
This phase is entirely focused on taking the value you've captured and making it grow exponentially. See, your active income and your personal time, they're finite. They have a hard ceiling. So you have to make the shift toward making your money and your assets work for you. These 3 growth habits are the engine for that. You turn every single dollar into an employee, you build up multiple streams of income, and you get comfortable taking calculated risks.
I absolutely love this metaphor from the text. It says, every dollar becomes a tiny worker with one important job, to earn more dollars. Isn't that a great way to picture it? If you spend $1 on something trivial, well, that little employee retires instantly. Poof, gone. But if you invest it, that worker joins your 24/7 financial workforce, tapping into the literal magic of compound growth to earn you more money even while you are fast asleep.
And to make sure those tiny workers stay protected, you need to build income streams that act like interconnected rivers. If a whole city relies on just one river and a drought hits, there is total panic. But if it's connected to multiple rivers and reservoirs, it has absolute stability. Self-made millionaires do exactly this. They diversify their income through new skills, smart investments, and side businesses. That way, if one stream suddenly slows down, the fear is just gone because all the others keep flowing.
Now, to be clear, doing all this requires taking risks, but there is a massive, fundamental difference between a reckless risk and a calculated risk. Reckless is impulsive. It relies purely on luck and greed. Calculated risk, on the other hand, is thoroughly researched, well prepared for a bunch of different outcomes, and completely embraces uncertainty as part of the process. So here's the real kicker. The greatest, most dangerous, invisible risk you can actually take in today's economy, it's doing nothing and staying way too comfortable.
And finally, we arrive at Phase 5, building a lasting legacy.
This is where we shift our focus from just hoarding wealth to the ultimate purpose of keeping it and passing it on. Wealth reaches its highest possible purpose when it creates lasting value way beyond your own lifetime. Think about it. If you just hand down a massive bank account to the next generation without passing down the financial wisdom, the discipline, and the actual habits that built it, history shows us time and time again that the wealth will almost certainly disappear within a few generations. Because true legacy, it isn't some grand event at the end of your life. It's a habit you practice every single day. It means actively teaching responsibility to the next generation. It means living your daily life with unshakable integrity, building systems that outlast you so they can keep serving others, and practicing intentional generosity. At the end of the day, your legacy is built out of your character and the ordinary, everyday acts of kindness you show to people along the way. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought from our explainer today. What meaningful difference will your resources create? I really encourage you to take these 15 systems we've explored today and actually put them into practice. Use them to build not just a financial fortune, but a richer, far more impactful life. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.